Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and we are going to talk about the series that I am currently reading or have decided to start in the month of October. I will be doing a check in on November in next month. I like to do it the month after. So here we go. All right, the main thing that matters for this is this thing right over here. This tells me that I started 9 series in October and not necessarily started, but read the first book of. Most of these I already owned, which is why I decided to read them to begin with, but let's just look at what they are. So the first thing is Head in the Game by Lily Cahill and also Heart in the Game. I read 2 of those in the month of October, and I decided to DNF it. So I will not be continuing with that series, but I did read the 2 books for it, or 2 of the books for it. There are 4 total, but since I'm DNFing, I will not be reading those. I did read Dangerous. I didn't read Dangerous in a Kilt. Dangerous in a Kilt was book 1. I needed a book that had Wicked in the title, and so I read book 2, Wicked in a Kilt. And I do think I will be continuing with these. It was a very cheesy Scottish romance, but those are the kind that I really like anyway. I just need them sometimes to be super cheesy. I'm concerned that there are 16 books in the series. I do own the first 3, and since I've read number 2, I will be reading number 1 next. Then a new series, The Cat Dubois Chronicles, Inkwitch was book 1 by Lindsay Sparks. I really enjoyed this. So I will definitely be continuing. The next book is called Outcast, and that's the one I will be going to next. Then we had That Time I Got Drunk. So there are 3 books. Well, there are 5 books. I own 3 books. I have read 2 of them, and I will not be continuing with this series. I had some really deep discussions with myself over the month of October, where I also went through, which we'll talk about in a little while, that I went through and DNF'd quite a few of these series. So I talked about the fact that I was holding on to books that I owned on audio or ebook, but I could let go of physical books so much easier, and I didn't understand why that was, but some of you chatted with me. We talked through a few of my issues with it, and I do think it's just because with physical books, they're not there anymore. They go away and I don't see them. With audio and ebooks, they're there. Like, I bought them, I paid for them, they're in my apps, they're on my devices, and so I have to see them. And that makes me go, oh, why am I not reading that? Well, I have given that up, and I am going through and DNFing a lot more. Then the ones that I own, and I'm like, we're going to read this because you own it. That's fine. But then I'm DNFing and I'm not continuing any further. So the next one is the same situation. A fantasy book, The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, is so popular and everybody loves it except me. And I am DNFing the series. If you don't know what DNF means, it just means did not finish, and I will not be finishing the series. The next is Wayward Children, which I had already read the first book, but I didn't mark it in here for some reason that it was already read. So I reread it this month or in October, and I went ahead and just counted it as if I were starting the series in October because I don't remember when I read it. So that was a reread for me, but also, according to this, it was the beginning. How My Neighbor Stole Christmas is the next series, and I read the first book, and I'm about to read the second book coming up in December. So there we go, ready to go. I will be caught up with that series. Also by Megan Quinn, Bridesmaids for Hire. I read the first book. There's 2 left. I'm going to give the second book a try. If I don't love it, because I didn't love the first one, so if I don't love the second one, then I will be DNFing that series. Then we had Raiders of the Lost Heart. There are 2 books out in the series, and 1 is coming out. So Temple of Swoon is the next one, and I will be reading that. I love an adventure romance. I did not love Raiders of the Lost Heart because it was enemies to lovers, but I'm going to give it another shot for Temple of Swoon because it was not a problem with the writing or the story. I loved it. I just don't like enemies to lovers. So not their fault, more my fault. And if you notice all the rest of these under here that don't have a date started beside them, that's because I own the first book of all of these and I just have not read them yet. And that's not true. I just found The Will of the Many, which I started in October, and I will be reading The Strength of the Few. Is that what it's called? Yes, The Strength of the Few I will be reading. So I'm not DNFing this one, but for now I'm caught up with it. Okay, so now it's time to go look at the stats. So this is where some things are going to change. I'm going to kind of get over here out of the way. So the first thing that we'll notice that is not part of the actual stats is series DNF'd. So last month, there were 3. This month, there are 42. And I can promise you that that number is going to go up by the next month as well, because I'm going to take some time to go through the list some more. I didn't even finish the list. And I found, 39, I guess, that I wanted to DNF. So that's going to change. So we're focusing right now on the books, the number of books read, the number of books to read, and how many series have been started. So the number of books read, number of books on the whole thing has actually gone down. Let me get the chart up here and scoot over a little bit. Okay, so right here we have number of books in the whole thing has gone down from 3626 to 3528. Part of that is the DNFs. Part of it is also what I've been reading. The books read, it didn't change, but that's not true. I did read books. I don't know why that hasn't changed, because I marked down the books that I read. So I don't know what's up with that stat. Books to read went down from 2,600 to 2,400. And then the series started went from 289 to 277. So I don't know why we went down, other than I took some DNFs off. I mean, I don't know why that looks like that. But the main thing that I want is books to read. I want that number going down, and the number of books to go down as well, and books read to go up, which is not happening yet, but hopefully it will. And then the series started. I'm not really sure what I'm expecting, other than for this to be lower. But if I do it like this and I say 10 series is started, 1 series started, and then this would be from 289 to 277 would be minus 12. Let's see what that looks like. Does that do anything over here? Yeah, it puts it down below the thing. That's so funny. Okay, so I don't know. I will play around with what this all means next time and see if I can figure that out. But the other one, the other stat I wanted to look at is right above my head, series is. So this one is specifically about books. This is about series. So the ones in progress, I have gone from 247 to 207, so 40 less that I'm working on. The ones that are up to date, I went from 27 to 31. So I got 4 more up to date. I finished 3 more. That's because there was a couple of them where I specifically planned to read them in the month of October so that I could get them finished. And so the series total that I have on the TBR is 189, down from 195. So I took 6 series off of my TBR, which means the TBR is the ones that I own and I haven't started them yet. So that's what they're doing over there. Okay, and then here is the chart that goes along with these stats up here. So the series is in progress went down, which I like. The series that are up to date and finished both went up, which is good. And then series on my TBR went down, because that means I started reading series that I owned more than I was starting other ones or going to get other ones. So I really like that one. I like how it looks. I'm going to play around, like I said, with some of these other stats a little bit later. But now it's time to go over and check lenses, a full year of seasonal and holiday fun. So if you guys missed this, I'm starting level 12, but not really 12, because 12 is an everything combination. And I have taken away some of the things. So I'm only spelling out all the months of the year and all the seasons and all the holidays. So that's what I'm doing. For October, I'm covering it up. Let me move up here for now. For October of 2025, I am doing this color, and I have already filled them all in. So all we're doing today is marking the colors for them, making sure I mark them complete, and then I finished spelling a couple of things that we're going to look at. So I'm going to hide on this side of the page, and we're going to go down the left side. So I need a U book here. I still need some stuff here. However, there we go. I finished Raiders of the Lost Heart, and that finished up March for me. Spelling March, done. So I'm changing it to that color with the lighter color letters. Okay, March is done. May, not quite done. July, not done. September, there we go. One of them is done. So we will change the color and have it ready to go. Here is another one for November. I read Mate, starts with an M. Nothing on New Year's Day, nothing new on St. Patrick's Day. I did get an S right here for soundtracks. So I got one for Mother's Day. The 4th of July, I got one for the T. Labor Day, I got nothing. And Thanksgiving, I added one for the I. And now I'm going to move and we'll go to the other side. For autumn, nope, winter. It is done. Winter is done. Before we even get to actual winter, it is done. So I will make it blue and I will change the color. There we go. Perfect. February, I finished 2 sections, 2 letters, both R's in February. So there they are. April, still need to do. June is not done. August, October, December. Finished another letter in December. Valentine's Day, I finished 2 letters, both A's for Valentine's Day. Easter, I finished another S. Father's Day, another S. Had quite a few S's. Memorial Day, an I for I Married a Lizard Man. For Halloween, we had an L, which is fitting that it's a scary book on Halloween. I like that. Christmas, 2 books that are not Christmas books, but that's okay. They help me spell Christmas. And then you guys can see everything below here on this side and on this side is all U. There's a couple of N's. Everything else is the letter U that y'all gave me because I said I needed N's and U's. Now I need some Y's and maybe E's. Those are the things I need next. And yes, I can go look them up on my own. I don't have to have you guys do it. I just like taking your suggestions. So these are all the U's y'all gave me. These are more U's and N's over here on this side. And when I'm ready and when I need them, this was where I'm going to come to get them from. So thank you for offering all of your advice and your suggestions. Like I said, I still need Y's and E's probably just as much as I needed the U's. Not as many E's for sure. There's a lot of U's in all of these things. But that is going to do it for my series check-in. If you guys want the second spreadsheet that's got spelling out all the things from Lindsay, I will share down below the blog where you can go to her blog and get this thing. She did say that she was making an updated version of it that will be coming out probably next year, maybe. I don't know for sure when it's coming out, but will probably be coming out next year. And if you want to do that, you can do that as well. For the series spreadsheet, Amara created that, and she has asked that you go over to Discord and request. You can send me a message to get to Amara, or you can send Amara a message. Either way, we will get you hooked up, and she will send it to you on a one-to-one basis. So that is it. That's everything for my series check-in. Things are looking better and better for my series. I'm trying to be more thoughtful in what I am continuing to read and not continuing to read. So thanks for joining me. Give me, I don't know, what did I finish? March and winter. Give me some snowflakes or some 4-leaf clovers or whatever kind of stuff they have for St. Patrick's Day in March. And that is going to do it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.